Like this year, I haven't shot anything.
This year you haven't
I
shot
haven't
anything.
shot anything.
If you're married to an actor and you yourself are an actor, does that, you know, you're on the same page most of the time?
No.
Not at all.
God no, and we don't. That's the point.
Yeah.
Like that'd be boring. मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ.
Hmm.
It does bother me
Right.
because all my work here gets slashed in half.
Wow.
So I have to be a little. I couldn't do Fukrey 3, man. Hi, I'm Ali Fazal, and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.
Ali, welcome to Bollywood Hungama. How do you like my t-shirt?
I love your T-shirt. You've managed the Jugaad T-shirt. Very few have that T-shirt.
Good. I'm really happy to wear this. I'm going to take you back slightly. When the concept of Fukrey was being discussed, that was the time when everybody wanted to make Friends, Jugaad, and these kind of films, but not everything worked.
Yeah.
Y'all really worked. Your film sailed through. It's still being celebrated. Nine parts are there. Did you all imagine something like that at that time?
Not at all. I did think it was a very, very cool team to be part of, you know, for Excel to come out with something like this. It was, for the first time, a very underdog story that you don't really, at that time, you wouldn't associate Excel to do that, right? They have kind of very interesting, but yeah, they've done Dil Chahta Hai, you know, so we had that thing, okay, there's something new, the script was very cool, and changed all our lives, you know, for the better. I mean, we just celebrated 10 years, you know, to be able to do that with a film is cool.
It is. You know, what were you all told in the first meeting in office when the narration, what was the idea of making that? Like, what did they want to make?
They wanted to actually make a fantastical film based in a very earthy city, which is, मतलब दिल्ली, you know, ईस्ट दिल्ली से ज़्यादा आप बिल्कुल क्या बोलते हैं ग्राउंडेड नहीं हो सकते हो. वहाँ का एक कल्चर है, and it somehow is like the rug in the carpet in the room that sort of binds the room together, like they say, right? Delhi does that for everybody, especially the north side. So yeah, it had really simple emotions. But suddenly heightened with, you know, let's say Chucha's dream and the whole lottery angle and of course, you know, you have Bholi Punjaban's character having this, and these are all, I mean, her character was based off, you know, inspired from a true character of sorts. So yeah, these weren't far away things, but Mrig and Vipul, I think, managed to sort of, you know, lift it off the page. It could have been a very nice indie also. Yeah. But, you know, with the songs, with these londas, full jugadus, actually fukras, and the word fukra was never known to people. But Delhi wale sab jante hain. That's a word, that's a parlance.
Right, so we didn't know it.
Yeah.
Right. You know, when you've done so much work, films here in Hollywood, but still, you know, when people come up to you and they, you know, this is the character they know, this is the film they know, they call you all fukras. Is it, do you find it weird that, you know, what works, what doesn't, we just don't know?
Yeah, well, now we don't. A couple of years back, we could have predicted.
Okay.
You had the soothsayers coming out and, you know, doing that thing. Now it's a gamble, right? I mean, we've just seen that past week and this whole year, in fact. Pathan's been like the unicorn.
Absolutely.
And I'm very happy for that because he managed to bring people back in the theatres and to have some faith in the theatres. And it'll happen. I think people come back. But we all live for that. We love that, you know. As much as I'm doing films outside or here, cinema is cinema. Yeah, we're constantly changing and evolving. But I, like, for instance, when OTT came, I was told not to do it. I was categorically told
not to do OTT.
हाँ कि तुम ये मत करो, because I thought Mirzapur was a really interesting, cool, you know, story plot, and I could have probably brought something to it. But like, nahi, ye to 5 saal baad aayega. But I had seen that happen in the West. It's almost like you have a blueprint evolving in front of you. You just need to, like, you know, look past your bubbles and not follow suit, but, you know, at least take from it.
Right, very interesting. So when someone tells you not to do that, you know, ये risk है, it gives tension to an actor कि यार सब सही चलना चाहिए, let's why risk? What made you do all this when people say no?
I was really scared. I was really scared, but I also, because at the time I think I was maybe not naive, but like trying to play the game, right? You want validation, you want to do the right things, you want to be seen, you want to be, you want to have a, you know, these many hits, these many in the can, these many coming. It's a plan, right? If you in that plan, you're it. You know, you've got game, buddy. So suddenly this threw me off, but I couldn't resist it because I wasn't even offered the part, which I played eventually in Mirzapur, and I refused it. I thought this was the only thing I could bring something to on the table, and then slowly I think I realized that that's what I do in life. Like I need to be able to bring something from my end. If 5 others can bring that, then maybe it's not for me.
Right.
You know.
Plan is a very interesting word in an actor's life, but how much can go as per plan? You, like you're saying, इतनी फिल्में होनी चाहिए, इतनी can में होनी चाहिए, इतनी आगे release होनी चाहिए. Can it go as per plan?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
I suppose at some point you have to understand, or rather demarcate your world.
Okay.
Because there are multiple worlds that, you know, are existing. And you can always remain unhappy for the rest of your life.
Okay.
Because there will always be something that you're not going to end up doing. Someone you're not end up going to be satisfying. It all boils down to me. As much as that might sound as, I don't know, narcissistic or it has to be me. I'm mine before anybody else's.
Right.
And so and that's why everything just kept falling in place or out of place. You know, like this year I haven't shot anything.
This year you haven't shot?
I haven't shot anything. And it's freaked me out. Just I couldn't.
Dates.
It's a privileged problem. I'm not saying, you know, but मुझे नहीं पसंद आया.
अच्छा नहीं.
And the fact that I can sit and say नहीं करना है मुझे, it's already a privilege.
Yeah.
And I'm not complaining. But man, there's stuff happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Right? 1 or 2 odd things like Vishalji's film I've done. I'm starting Anurag Basu sir's. Those are things I'm very proud of. Uske aage, yeah.
You know, to be in this position, like you said, it's a privilege problem, but it's also it's still very tricky to say no to something. You don't know whether more things will come, better things will come, pata nahi. Yeah. How do you then say no to things? Because one, sometimes it's great money and ghar bhi chalana hai.
Yeah, I mean, somewhere I think I'm fighting for time more than anything else now in my life. You know, I've gotten married and suddenly you realize, oh my God, you know, part of my world also has that. My world also has me, somebody else, families, family time, my time. If somehow I can figure out the financial part of it, you know, and be okay with that, then you do what you want. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we also created our production house, because we wanted to jam with artists. We wanted to not, like I remember feeling held up.
Right.
You know, when you're part of other gigs, you know, you're part of somebody else's story.
Right.
You're part of another narrative. You're playing the game, and then, contracts hold you back. You're stuck. No. I said, you just come through us, evolve with us, and move. You know.
If you're married to an actor and you yourself are an actor, does that, you know, you're on the same page most of the time?
No.
Not at all.
God, no. And we don't. That's the point.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be boring.
Yeah.
Actor or not actor, I mean, I think the idea that, you know, there's suddenly a person I can call home changes everything, right? So, and of course, we have creative differences all the time. We don't discuss each other's work, but when we're producing stuff, we just produced our first film. We were always at loggerheads, but it's great. And I think some really cool stuff came out of that.
Yeah. We absolutely love Richa. You know, she's a wonderful actor and a beautiful person. You know, how has that changed your life? You said, you know, I suddenly have marriage and I have to, you know, focus on that. That's now a new part of your life. What are you seeing different? Do you see yourself as a different person?
Definitely. I think I've evolved a lot.
Yeah.
I see things differently in a good way, I think. I like to think. I'm happy. I'm not constantly beating down myself.
Okay.
I was heavily critical. I don't think I've seen my films up until now I just started watching myself because I can't stand myself on the screen. I couldn't before. I used to go into depression for 2-3 days, and I was like, that's not fair, right? Like we are already so hard on ourselves, and then the rest of the clan comes in and says, "Ye tumne sahi nahi kiya yaar.
Yeah.
You're gone. You're done." You know, so that's those things don't affect me anymore now.
Okay.
And sometimes it's scary because you know you suddenly feel like shit. It should affect you.
Yeah.
Right? I shouldn't be too complacent, too relaxed.
Right.
Nikal na jaye sab.
You've always been critical of yourself. Is that a good thing?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm still confused. Maybe in a healthy
way. It's good.
You know, what is healthy? I don't know. People
You know,
are still struggling with health.
You're doing good work, and that's what matters eventually. They're keeping a good balance, Ali, between some interesting Hollywood projects and here. How are you managing that?
I'm not. I think
are.
That's, no, I mean,
we are talking when Kandahar is just out.
No, I'm very happy. I'm so happy that the films that I do outside, luckily, have been studio films, have been sort of these big ticket films that are suddenly seen all across the globe, and so that's another reason why this whole box office number thing doesn't affect me anymore, because suddenly we're making like shitloads on the other side. But what I can't manage is time.
Time management is something.
And again, it's a good problem. It's you know, I'm not complaining, but मैं नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. It does bother me.
Right.
Because all my work here gets slashed in half.
Wow.
So I have to be a little. I couldn't do Fukrey 3, man.
Yeah, you couldn't do Fukrey 3. I heard that. That's again because of just dates or
just dates, honestly. And we in fact, I love the script. I read the script. We were ready for shoot, and then the second pandemic hit.
Right.
So that got pushed.
Okay.
And then I think Kandahar, Vishalji's, everything came together. So we had to make a hard decision. It's either going to be Mirzapur or Fukrey, you know, because Mirzapur was also following later.
Decision,
so that was hard.
You know,
but it's okay. I mean,
I'm sure it's hard, but what is that discussion with the makers? Do they understand? Because you know, it's such a genuine problem. You have that.
No, it was, and I'm so happy actually. Ritesh, Farhan, both, you know, they really understood. This is actually, I thought it'll be a big battle.
Yeah, we can't imagine.
I thought, like, my God, I can't go in with this flaunting ki, you know, arey wo yaar mera udhar hai, kaam chal raha hai.
Yeah.
I just, but they were really, really surprisingly sweet about it actually. Yeah,
that's nice. That's how it should be. I can't imagine Fukrey without you. But
now you don't have to imagine. You'll watch it without me. Hopefully another part. But see, again, this is a world that, you know, keeps giving. So I think, I don't know, maybe. Hi, I'm Ali Fazal, and you're watching this interview on Bollywood Hungama.